Welcome to today's deep dive. We're looking at a stack of recent UK planning policies and, real estate market analyses. And our mission today is for you to understand how this totally boring-sounding new rule in England and Wales is, well, it's actually the secret decoder ring to understanding who controls your neighborhood.
Yeah, because, at first glance, a government register of land option agreements sounds like just peak bureaucratic boredom, right?
Oh, absolutely. It sounds terrible.
It does. But this specific database actually exposes the whole invisible architecture of the housing market. It dictates whether new homes get built around you, how much they cost, and, who ultimately moves in.
Right. And to really grasp this, we kind of have to look at the mechanics of a land option. So think of it like paying a boutique to keep a highly sought-after jacket on hold for you, right?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
You secure the right to buy it later, but you aren't actually obligated to buy it. You just make sure nobody else can get it.
Exactly. And in the real world, developers deploy these option agreements to pay landowners a fee for the legal right to buy a parcel of land later on.
Okay, so they're basically just holding their spot in line.
Right, holding their spot. And they routinely wait to actually execute that purchase until they've officially secured planning permission.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so this lets them control massive land portfolios without, laying out the millions and millions required to buy the land outright up front.
Which makes sense. The incentive structure here heavily favors waiting, right? Because the moment agricultural or unused land gets zoned for residential development, the value just absolutely skyrockets.
Oh, it goes through the roof, yeah.
Right, so holding the option means the developer captures that massive uplift in land value without actually carrying the heavy asset on their balance sheet during that years-long planning process.
And that mechanism sits right at the heart of Britain's severe housing shortage.
Wait, really? How so?
Well, because these private agreements have historically been completely hidden from the public, so critics argue major house builders are just hoarding these, what they call, land banks.
Ah, right, so they lock up viable land and just kind of stall development to artificially restrict housing supply.
Precisely. And, when supply is restricted, the prices of their existing housing developments just stay artificially high.
But nobody actually knows how much buildable land is tied up in these shadow agreements, right? Like the data just isn't there.
It hasn't been, no. But the government's fix is to drag all of this into the light by creating a public register.
Right.
So soon, anyone will be able to see who holds these options, the site sizes, the specific locations, and, crucially, when the options expire.
Which, that fundamentally upends the current business model for house builders, doesn't it?
Oh, entirely.
See, I'm actually struggling with the government's logic on this one. Like, if I'm a major developer, my land pipeline is my primary strategic advantage.
Yeah, it's your crown jewels.
Right. So forcing me to publish my expiry dates and target sites to my competitors feels, less like creating market transparency and more like just completely destroying my commercial flexibility.
Well, that is the exact panic rippling through the industry right now, to be honest.
I bet.
Because land options rely so heavily on asymmetric information. When a rival developer sees that your option expires in 6 months, or a local landowner realizes you're trying to quietly consolidate 5 adjacent plots.
Oh, they know exactly what you're up to.
Exactly. The power dynamics of those negotiations fracture completely. Landowners can hold out for way more money, and, rivals can just swoop in the moment and option lapses.
Man, so if this destroys commercial flexibility across the board, the fallout in a hyper-constrained market like London is going to be immediate.
Oh, London is going to be wild. Land there is already famously scarce.
Right. So opening up this black box of data gives investors just unprecedented insight into the actual development pipeline.
And politicians will absolutely weaponize this data from day one. Local councils can look at the register, point to specific stalled sites in their boroughs, and apply immense public pressure.
Oh, to force developers to either start building or relinquish their hold on the land.
Exactly. It strips away the plausible deniability. Like, a developer cannot claim they're desperately looking for land to build on when the public register shows they've been sitting on, 50 acres in Zone 3 for half a decade.
Wow. So the register shifts the market from a hidden game of chess to basically an open poker game where everyone's cards are face up on the table.
That's a perfect analogy.
Which really highlights the core takeaway from our sources today. Land controls the foundation of the entire housing market.
Yeah, Yep, 100%.
Whoever controls the land dictates how much housing supply actually reaches the market. It's not about the bricks and mortar. It's about the invisible paperwork controlling the dirt long before the foundations are even poured.
Right. The government is forcing this transparency to get homes built faster. But, radically altering the power dynamics of a complex market, it always creates unintended consequences.
Always. Which leaves you, the listener, with something to consider as we wrap up today's deep dive. If total transparency destroys the strategic secrecy of land assembly, and developers suddenly find themselves fiercely outbidding each other for these now visible land options.
Yeah, what happens then?
Exactly. Could this well-intentioned rule inadvertently drive up the cost of the dirt itself? And if the land costs more to acquire, do the prices of the actual homes you want to buy end up skyrocketing too?